G'day, welcome back. Thanks for joining us for this episode as we near the completion of our journey. This episode has us in Benalla for 4 days as we avoid a bit of bad weather on our way towards the New South Wales town of Jugiong. The trip from Benalla to Jugiong is 380 kilometres. It takes us through to day 108 of our journey, which gives us 19,600 kilometres all up and a massive 236 hours in the saddle on the motorbike. Sit back and enjoy. So here we are in Benalla, doing the
Benalla
walk around the
Lake.
lake. Yeah, walk around the lake, about 4 and a bit kilometres, and very pretty. We've got a beautiful day. Not much wind for the first day in about 3 weeks. So we're making the most of it before the weather sets in.
Because the rain's coming.
Whilst the weather was good, we took the opportunity to get out and have a look around Benalla. Some of the walks were fantastic, and we even went on a run around the lake as well. Benalla has a number of notable residents that have spent some of their life there, including Edward Weary Dunlop. Weary Dunlop was a Japanese prisoner of war and a surgeon, and he's famous for the work he did during that period in World War II. He also attended Benalla High School for a couple of years.
Very impressed with Benalla. The people, cafe, the breakfast was really good. Huge coffee, cheap. It's very nice here. So we're just debating on what we do. Another day, or do we head off and try to avoid the rain, heading north? Because we're not that far from home, really, are we? Maybe within the next 10 days. So we're just trying to work out which way we will go. Anyway.
Like most Australian rural towns and cities, Benalla puts a lot of effort into making its streetscape and street arts look really spectacular, and there's a lot of great street art around Benalla and well worth a look.
So we are at Benalla. We've been sitting out here for a couple of days, waiting out the rain band coming through and the storm. And there's another big one about to come through. Check this out. Amazing. That's very mean looking. But it looks like it's going across, not to us. Well, after a great stay in Benalla, we ended up being there for 4 days trying to wait out the weather, which just wasn't going to happen. We decided to hit the road. We had a really nice time in Benalla, loved it.
was a lovely ride, but unfortunately the bad weather was really starting to close in, especially on the east coast, which stopped us from going towards Eden, and we were going to make our way up the coast. So we turned left and headed across the Murray River and went into a town in New South Wales called Howlong, which is a lovely little town and an interesting name, and it's named after a property called Hoolong, which was owned by a man called Isaac Rudd, and it was named after an Aboriginal place meaning the beginning of the plains. Culcairn's another interesting town along the Olympic Way. Culcairn was settled in 1834, and once upon a time it was the major rail junction during the era of the steam train. There were lots of lovely little towns along the Olympic Way, and an interesting town was the town of Henty, which was where Hedley Taylor invented the header harvester, which revolutionised the agricultural industry by having the harvester in front of a tractor, and the capacity increased enormously. And this is around about 1914.
stopped at Sylvia's Pizza at The Rock for lunch. We didn't have pizza, we had sandwiches, and it was a great stop. Highly recommend that one for a good lunch as well.
An interesting fact about the town of Uranquinty, if I pronounced that correctly, is that it was a migrant camp for 28,000 displaced persons between 1948 and 1951. It also served as a training area for Air Force personnel, including pilots, of up to 2,000 people at that time, trained there between 1941 and 1958.
Lake Albert in Wagga Wagga. This was my trip down memory lane. As a 9-year-old in 1972, I did the City to Lake run that was held here at Lake Albert, and I was the 3rd female across the line. The following year, my claim to fame was that I came 2nd in the same race as a 10-year-old. So there you go, and I'm still running, if not a bit slower, today. And the reason why I did those runs around Lake Albert was because at the time we were living in Wagga. Dad was stationed at the RAF base at Wagga, and it was nice to go past the base and just see part of my childhood again. Jugiong was our stay for tonight, and we had pre-arranged to meet my brother-in-law, and he turns up a few minutes later.
How's that for timing?
Oh, here we go. Angle's happening. All right, so what do you reckon? Good tips I gave you?
Good tips.
All right, let's go to the pub. See
All
ya.
right, we'll see you at the pub.
I'm going to tell you something about your videos when you had a few years.
Here we are in...
Battery.
Going to have a flat battery soon. Jugiong, I think that's how you pronounce it. So we're about, what, half a kilometre out of town.
You better explain where it is.
It's in New South Wales, sorry. Near Yass, southern side of Yass. We're about 80 k's south of Yass, off the Hume Highway.
Yep.
There we go.
I think this is the old Hume Highway.
We think we're walking on the old Hume Highway. Anyway, so we're walking into the local pub, and we're going to meet up with our brother-in-law, Steve, Tight Ass Tours, who's on the road, like us.
Rode down from Port Macquarie.
He rode all the way from Port today, and he's on his way to Tasmania. So unlike us, he does much bigger distances. But anyway, we're going to meet up. We haven't seen him for 3 months. Have a catch up, have a drink, have a meal.
One night will be enough.
One night will be enough. Bye.
The croc tour and the beer and the prawns.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
How good was that? Did you find my
The
GoPro?
ferryman.
Because that's where I lost it.
Look at what's going on.
That was my GoPro, right?
A little flashy red light every time.
Now I've got to put it on record. We actually had tips. This one here wouldn't make it all the way down. Well done. I think you did amazing. You. When you used to do videos, you used to do all the talking, and then we see you, and you hardly ever talk, right? Right? Well, we had a bet going that I said to Wendy, if Craig does 2 sentences, dinner's on me. I'm taking you out for dinner.
Have you taken
So
her
guess
out?
what's happened? I owe a lot of dinners because we can't shut you up, but it's very impressive.
Yeah, you can't shut me up.
Oh no, there was a dinner on that, so thanks mate, you cost me a deal.
It was great to see a familiar face when we got to Jugiong, and that was Steve Wilko Wilkinson, our brother-in-law. He was travelling down from Port Macquarie off to Tasmania for a lap around the island. Good to spend some time together and have a good chat. As usual, Wilko had plenty of tall tales. We might have told 1 or 2 as well, but it was great fun, and thanks for joining us, Wilko. Please join us again next week as we wind our way back to Port Macquarie on the final leg of our lap around Oz. See you then.